Dear students, today let's learn the lesson An Epitome of Courage. So, you have to open page number 61 of your English textbook. Did you open page number 61 of your English textbook? Okay. So, before beginning the lesson, as usual, we are going to look into the warming up section. Let's have a chit chat. So, first of all, let's go point by point. So, the first point in the chit chat is about a strange truth. So, you read the first point, read the strange truth given here. Did you read the strange truth? Here, a strange truth is given. Handicapped are those who refuse to take up challenges even with all their senses and physiology in perfect condition. So now, please think over this, ponder over this, because we have to understand and discuss about the truth, about the above given truth. Okay. Are you thinking about the given truth? Let us think. Okay. So, let's understand and discuss the above truth. So, I think this is absolutely true that in spite of being physically strong, the people fear to accept the challenges in life. They are worse than a handicapped person. Such people are mentally handicapped. They need to take inspiration from the physically challenged individuals. Do you agree with this? After all, this is my opinion. You can express your opinion. Okay? You are free to express your opinion here about the given truth. So the next point given here is, how can you encourage such people to change and become confident? Such people means the people who are perfect in their senses and physiology, who are very perfect, but they are refusing to take up challenges. So how can you encourage such people to change and become confident? So discuss at least 4 to 5 ways you can do the above. So in your group, you have to discuss about this, about the ways of how you can encourage such people who do not accept challenges even if they are physically strong, and stout. Okay. So I think there are many physically strong people who are afraid to take challenges in life. They are the victims of inferiority complex. Hence, they keep the thought of accepting challenges far away. I'll make them aware of their strengths. This is one thing. Then the other thing is, I'll make them aware of their physical strengths and encourage them to make full use of their physique. I will try to remove the inferiority complex in them. I'll tell them, if you think you can, you can. And again, I'll also cite the examples of physically challenged persons like Stephen Hawking and Oscar Pistorius. They rose above even the fully functional people to claim success, victory, and fame. And I'll try to impress on their minds that if such people could, why can't you? I'll also ask them to get ready to face failure. But you must try to face the challenges. I'll also tell them that shame lies not in failure, but in not making any try. Okay? So, I think these are some of the ways by which we can encourage such people, by which we can encourage the people who are not ready to accept challenges even if they are perfect in their senses and physiology. Okay? Did you understand the point? Okay. Now, on the same page, page number 61, there is another point under the green box. Let us read that point. There are pleasant and polite ways of referring to people with physical and mental disabilities. Fill in the table below. So here a table is given and we have to fill in that table. So blind, deaf, mute, mad and lame. These are the words by which these people get hurt. So let us think of how we can avoid these words and use new polite terms in place of these words. So instead of saying blind, what can you say? Instead of saying blind, you can say visually challenged. So say, instead of saying he is blind, say he is visually challenged. Then instead of saying deaf, instead of saying he is deaf, you can say he is hearing impaired. Again, instead of saying mute, you can say he is speech impaired. Instead of saying mad, instead of saying he is mad, you can say he is mentally challenged. And instead of saying he is lame, you can say he is physically challenged. Okay? Did you get it? So, these are the new pleasant and polite ways of referring to the people with physical and mental disabilities. So, I think we should avoid the words like blind, deaf, mute, mad and lame. Why to avoid these words? Because by using these words, we hurt such people inadvertently. So instead of these words, we can use the new polite terms, we can use the new pleasant terms so that these people will not be hurt. Do you agree with me? I know you must be agree with me. So start using these new polite and pleasant terms to refer to such people with physical and mental disabilities. Okay? Next point is read the beginning and complete the story in your own words. Here, the beginning of the story is given. Only the beginning of the story is given. And from that beginning, we have to complete the story with a positive ending. So let's read the beginning. Sumit, the son of a shoemaker, was a highly intelligent student in a municipal school. His maths teacher called him Einstein, for he was brilliant in maths. He loved maths. Sumit wanted to study further after SSC. However, he suffered from polio and dash dash dash. Now, continue the story with a favorable and positive ending. So, tell me first of all, did you understand the activity? So, in this activity, what is given to us? The beginning of the story is given. Only the beginning of the story is given. And now we are free to complete this story by our own way. But the ending should be positive. The ending of the story should be positive and favorable. This is the only one condition. Okay? So let us try. Are you listening to this story? Are you listening to the whole story? Are you ready to listen to the whole story? Okay. So let us start the story. Please pay attention to the story. Sumit, the son of a shoemaker, was a highly intelligent student in a municipal school. His maths teacher called him Einstein, for he was brilliant in maths. He loved maths. Sumit wanted to study further after SSC. However, he suffered from polio and his further education seemed a distant reality. But Sumit was not a boy to be tamed down. After the initial shock, he regained himself, pondered over the situation, and accepted the reality. But he resolved that he would not allow his handicap to hamper his education. He made up his mind to study at home. He talked about his determination to his parents, who were very happy to do everything to fulfill Sumit's passion. Both Sumit's mother and father started working hard. They know his passion for maths. One of the customers of Sumit's father was a professor of maths in a local college. After hearing the story of Sumit, he promised to help Sumit in every possible way. So, Professor Sinha, the maths professor, started giving lessons to Sumit in a small hut. Mr. Sinha too was taken aback to find Sumit's intelligence. So he brought different newly published math books for Sumit. Sumit too, hungry to gain knowledge, read and studied all the advanced maths books. Now Professor Sinha was confident that Sumit would appear for maths Olympiad, and so did Sumit, and topped in the exam. It was Sumit's determination combined with Professor Sinha's golden guidance that reaped the rich fruit. Of course, Sumit kept his polio at bay to achieve this. So, such was the story. So, in this way, we can complete the given story. So, this type of question, this type of activity will be asked in the section of writing skill in our activity sheet. Sometimes the beginning will be given and sometimes the end of the story will be given. And from that, we have to complete that story in our own way. and we are free to use our imagination. We are free to use simple and short sentences. We are free to use very simple and lucid vocabulary. And we have to give the heading to this story. Okay? So this is the part of writing skill. So for becoming perfect in story writing, practice is needed, and practice makes man perfect. Okay. So here ends the warming up section of the lesson, An Epitome of Courage. So let's learn the lesson An Epitome of Courage in the next video. So till then, thank you and bye.